Hello and welcome. This is Cheryl. I'm so glad you've stopped by. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I created this card. It's using peel-off stickers. Now, these aren't something that is brand new. They've been around for a very, very long time. I don't believe they're made anymore. I know several companies have discontinued them, and I don't think new ones have come on the market. But I figured I'd show you what I like to do with these peel-off stickers. This is the first video of a few that I'm probably going to do, just showing different techniques, because I have a feeling that a lot of us have them in our stash. And you just saw my stash. I have a very large amount of them that I've collected over the years. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm cutting around the one that I'm going to use for this card. Now, I'm not cutting right along the lines. I'm cutting a little bit out, and then I'm just going to take off the backing around the image. Now, for this particular technique, I'm going to use the entire peel-off sticker. I'm not just using the outline to create with this technique. I'm going to use some peel-off transfer tape. If you don't have this available to you, you could also use Mac Tack or shelf liner. You could also use some transfer tape for vinyl. That would work as well. When you take this off of the package initially, when it's brand new, it's very, very sticky. So I like to put it on a t-shirt a couple times just to get some of the stick off of it. It just makes it a little bit easier to deal with and to work with. I'm using Suk Wang for the backing. I'm going to put it pretty much covering this piece of cardstock here that I'm putting down, because we're going to do an entire background with glitter. And the best adhesive for that is Suk Wang. It sticks really, really well, and it doesn't age or yellow with age. So I put my tape on, or my cardstock on the tape, and then I use an X-Acto knife and a mat and cut the excess off. I'm just using the side of my bone folder here to make sure that that adhesive has really good contact with the cardstock and that there's no bubbles. The next step, I'm going to do all of the glitter work on top of a piece of scrap paper so that I can contain the glitter and put it back in the container. For this technique, you need a pair of tweezers that you hold or that you squeeze to close, not the ones that you squeeze to open. Those will not work for this. You need to be able to control the pressure. So tweezers that have a nice fine tip that you squeeze to close are going to be perfect for this. I'm taking the backing off of my tape and I'm going to put it right back on the corner of my cardstock. When I go and put my peel off with the transfer tape on top of my cardstock, I want to make sure to have some of that transfer tape over top of my backing so that I can be able to grab it in order to remove it. To get my peel off onto the transfer tape, I'm taking a bone folder and I'm just burnishing it really, really well. I want to make sure that that peel off sticker has some really good contact with the transfer tape. And by burnishing it, I can ensure that a lot of those pieces will transfer really easily. When I'm removing the backing from my peel off sticker, I'm doing it very, very slowly. I'm holding the backing almost parallel to the peel off sticker. You'll find that a lot of the pieces that you have troubles with putting or leaving them on the backing or on the transfer tape are the tiny ones. If you have one that lifts off, just push it back down and then peel the backing off. Sometimes you may need to burnish it a little bit more, but typically just holding that backing almost parallel to the piece that you're taking it off of works really, really well. I put my peel off onto my exposed double-sided tape, my Suk Wang that's on my cardstock here, and I'm using that bone folder to burnish and really get the two adhesives, the one from the back of the peel off and the one from the Suk Wang, stuck together. So now I'm going to slowly peel off the transfer tape, and you'll see as I do this, I keep moving the tape backing as close to the edge or the folded edge of the transfer tape as I'm lifting it. This is going to give my fingers a place to press down and hold onto that cardstock and really be able to get it off nice and neatly. This doesn't need to be done quick. You can take your time with this, but you want to make sure that you're not actually touching the exposed adhesive with your fingers, and that tape backing helps with this. When you have your transfer tape all the way off, I put it back on the backing that it came from. This transfer tape can be used over and over again until it's not sticky. Now that the peel-off sticker is completely down, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some platinum gold glitter and I'm just going to cover the whole background. Now, I typically will do this with a color of glitter, because if you were to do it with white, quite often you'll see little flakes from the darker colors stick in with the white, and it sometimes can look a little bit dirty. So if absolutely unavoidable, I'll do that if I really want to have a white background, but most of the time I'll choose a color of glitter just because other colors won't show nearly as well in there. I'm taking a soft brush and I'm just brushing any of the glitter that is stuck to the front of the peel off sticker. And then I'm going to take that tape backing that I used to hold my piece down as I was removing it, and I'm going to burnish that glitter. Originally I took the whole piece and then I just peeled some up. The glitter really likes to stick to the tape backing. So by tearing a piece off, I'll have other pieces that I can use for subsequent glitter colors that don't already have glitter on the back of them. And by burnishing that glitter down, you're just basically trying to press that glitter down. It lays a little bit flatter, has better contact with the adhesive, and you might notice as I'm doing it that the glitter really, really sparkles after it's burnished, so much more than before time. So now that that glitter color is down, I'm just going to put that to the side. And then to do the image piece, I'm working from darkest color of glitter to lightest color of glitter. So the three colors that I'm using for this image is red, a green, and a white. I want to start with the red because it's the darkest color. Then I will do the green, and then I will do the white. You'll notice when working with glitter, if you use this method and go from dark colors to light colors, you'll have the least little flecks of glitter in the least contamination, basically. If you go from light to dark colors, if you have a speck or two of dark glitter on a white piece, you'll notice it a lot more than a light color in a dark piece. So I removed the bits for the roses and exposed the tape backing. And then I'm going to pour my red glitter down. You'll notice again that it likes to stick to the peel off sticker. It kind of like static. So I'm going to brush that off just to get some of the excess glitter off. By taking the excess glitter off between different colors, I'm trying to reduce contamination as much. Once again, I'm going to take a little piece of the tape backing. If by chance you didn't save your tape backing or something happened to it, you could also use a piece of wax paper or a piece of parchment. That would work as well. And even with that, sometimes, especially with small areas, I find that I don't get it burnished really, really well. So I'll often, and you'll see me in a minute doing this, I'll often take my finger and just rub it with my finger. I don't do this first of all. I usually try to use the backing first and only use it kind of as a last resort because I don't want to get a whole bunch of glitter all over my hands. Now I've got the areas exposed for the green glitter, so I'm going to pour that on here. One thing you don't see me doing is between each and every glitter color, I take my piece of scrap paper and I flick it really aggressively over top of a garbage can. So any of the pieces of glitter that happen to be stuck on that scrap piece of paper will fall into the garbage can, once again trying to not contaminate the glitter as much as possible. Now I'm taking the tape backing and burnishing that green in there, and then you'll see me take my finger and just do it with my finger. I was finding that because some of those areas are really, really tiny, it wasn't burnishing into the edge of those spots. So by using my finger, I eliminate that. Now at this point, we could stop and just leave the background black, but I chose to have a white background with this. So I'm going to take all of the pieces off for the background behind the roses here. Now, one thing I wanted to address, when I put this peel off down, I wasn't really thinking in terms of my final card design. I kind of was thinking I was going to cut this piece out and then mount it on a card, which is still an option, but in the end I chose not to, and I ended up making a square card. If you intend for this glitter background to all be part of your card, keep that in mind when you put your peel off sticker down. If I had thought about it ahead of time properly, which I should have, I would have put the peel off sticker a lot higher to the top and then left room, say, for a sentiment below it. But because I did it and I thought a sentiment above it might look a little bit odd, I ended up cutting it into a square. So now you just saw me put the white backing on behind the roses, and now I'm going to take this whole glittered piece and I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to cut it to 3.5-inch square, and then I'll create a 4-inch, so 4-inch by 4-inch mat in red to kind of bring out the color of the roses. And then my final card size will be 4.25 by 5, 4¼ by 4¼ Now this card was done with a peel off sticker because I have an excess of them, as you just saw, but I will in the future do one with a die and show you how you can get a very similar result with an outline die, just to use the same technique in a different way. So I just cut my piece of cardstock 4¼ inches. It's already 8½ inches. So by scoring it in half and folding it, I'll end up with a 4¼ by 4¼ card. Now it's not a standard card size, so you would need to create a custom envelope with this if you were going to give it to someone in an envelope. I just chose to leave it as is, and it will be just something that I will give to someone. Now I'm going to take my red mat and I'm going to glue it to the card base. I'm using some Distress Collage medium. I love using this in my cards. If you've seen more of my videos, you probably have seen this. I like it because it dries completely clear and it also dries matte. So if by chance I have anything squeezing out, you'll never even see it on the card once it's totally dry. I'm going to use that same glue to glue down my image piece. And then once I've got those glued down, I'm going to put an acrylic block on there just to hold it nice and flat while it dries. Now for this card, I chose to leave it as is, but using this glitter technique, you could, if you wanted, use some glossy accents on top just to create a different texture. So there is my finished card. Beautiful, perfect for Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.